Hello and welcome to episode 2 of The Wand and Crown. I'm Hayley. This is Keeley. And today's topic, we're going to talk to you all about Walt Disney World resorts and, the hotels on the Walt Disney World resort property.
Yep.
And what might be the best fit for your vacation. So we're going to go into kind of the basic big overview first and then get down into the nitty gritty of it. Walt Disney World has, it has technically 3 tiers of resorts with a 4th and 5th kind of
wonky one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the basic 3 tiers are value resorts, moderate resorts, and deluxe resorts. Deluxe resorts have kind of like a little half tier after that called Deluxe Villas. Those are really the Disney Vacation Club rooms, but they do let non-Disney Vacation Club owners book those. It's just for a lot higher price.
Just a little bit higher, yeah. But still bookable.
Yeah. And then you've got the Good Neighbor hotels, which are hotels that aren't owned by Disney, but are on Disney property. So basically, value resorts are going to be your, I'd say more kid-friendly resorts, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Definitely more themed and geared towards kids than the other ones. I mean, the other ones are, but this is definitely more the most kid-driven, I would say. Yeah.
Very kid-friendly. These are the ones that have like all the theming. You've got your all-star resort, so you've got all-star music, sports, movies with the giant giant figurines, statues.
Yeah, I guess statues. I mean, they're huge. Yeah,
they're enormous. Very good for photo ops, though.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So you've got those. Those are all kind of, I'd say, in the motel style of hotels. So they've got the doors that open up to the outside. They've got cafeteria type food courts. They do not have table service dining at these resorts. So I would say that the biggest draw for value resorts would be the pricing. Pricing and the theming. So
for sure. And I think also, so the 2 that you didn't mention, there's a big perk to them. So Pop Century, which is my that's my favorite resort, is Pop, because it's a good value and it's also a super fun resort. And then right across from there is Art of Animation. They have the Skyliner, which is my favorite. Like it's one of my favorite parts of all of Disney property right now. It's transportation, but it's basically like a ride. So that's a really fun thing at one of those 2 value resorts is you get access to the Skyliner, which takes you to other resorts, but it also takes you to Epcot and Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. And that's a great way to get to those parks that isn't the buses, because the other resorts are just bus transportation.
Yeah.
Which, is fine. It's free.
Yeah. It takes a little... Yeah, it takes a little bit more planning. Get there a little bit earlier than you were planning. Even if you were planning to get there early, get there earlier than that. And that's one of the drawbacks is you're like you said, you're solely relying on the bus transportation, unless you have a rental car, but that's kind of a whole other expense and a whole other thing we can discuss. Hey, future episode, talk about is rental car worth it or not?
Well, I mean, even if you drive down or have a rental car, if you drive to the parks, you have to pay for parking. If you are staying on property, you don't have to pay for parking at your hotel.
They finally got rid of that. Yay.
Yeah, finally. They didn't have it, brought it in, got rid of it. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Art of Animation also has the family suites, which is great for if you've got like generational families, or if you've got like your family and your siblings' family, or even if it's just a few close friends. They've got multiple bedrooms and it's a suite, so it makes the pricing feel a little bit more affordable. Now, if it's just your family of 4, don't do a suite. It's not worth the pricing.
No, if you want like more space, sure. But again, my philosophy is always when you're at Disney, you're going to be in the parks, you're going to be doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, their hotel room is just to kind of like shower, keep their stuff, sleep. Even if you plan on staying at your resort for a little bit, you're probably going to be at the pool. You're probably going to be going to do mini golf around the property. You're probably going to be going to Disney Springs or the boardwalk or somewhere else. So yeah, like I wouldn't stay there just for space alone. I would stay at one of the other, just in a standard room at Art of Animation or one of the other value resorts for sure.
100% agreed. But you also
they're really fun themed.
They are wonderful themed. You just brought up something that reminded me. If you are staying at Art or Pop and you've got little kids, that's great for like the Skyliner to come back and do that mid-afternoon nap.
Oh, so nice.
Oh yeah.
We did that when we went last February. I caught a cold in Disney, and then we were also with our friends who it was for their daughter's 3rd birthday.
Mm-hmm.
3 of the days we did, and we had park hoppers. So we're going between Epcot, Hollywood Studios. We were all over the place, but we had that because we were at Epcot and Hollywood Studios at some point throughout pretty much every day we were there. And we came back for those afternoon naps. Again, I had a cold, so it's the only reason I napped. I don't nap on Disney vacations, but it was great because their daughter like fell asleep on the Skyliner. So it was kind of nice because it's quiet. There's a breeze. It's quick.
Yeah. Not great in rainy weather though. Just keep that in mind. They will not operate the Skyliner if there's a thunderstorm in the area because you don't want a Skyliner. Sorry, we keep talking about that. It's a gondola.
Yes.
It's essentially a gondola.
And it's not fully open air, but it is because
like
the breeze comes in. Yeah.
You don't want to be riding that in a thunderstorm. No, thank you.
That might be kind of cool. But like
not when the lightning strikes you.
Okay, like not suspended, but like it'd be cool like if I was like just I don't know. If I knew I wasn't in danger, I think it'd be fun. I love a good Florida storm. Leave me alone.
I'm good with them when I'm, on the ground. I'll watch them open a window, fall asleep.
Okay. All right. Fair.
The big thing that you want to think about when you are going to any of the value resorts is that because they are such good pricing, and because they're close to the ESPN center or campus, whatever they call it, these are
ESPN worldwide. I can never say it right, but yes.
Wide world of sports.
Yep.
Can you tell we're not sports people?
We're not Run Disney people. We're not cheerleading competition people. No, you're Run Disney. I'm not.
I'm not a Run Disney person. I am doing a Run Disney.
You're becoming a Run Disney person. We'll have to have Meredith come on and talk about Run Disney because Skylar.
Yeah. But these resorts are the ones that like all the school groups, cheerleading groups, even if it's like the choirs that are performing on campus, because they're such affordable hotels. These are the ones that all the school groups, runners, etc. are going to go to. So if you don't want to be around a bunch of cheerleaders, sports teams, so on, not the resort for you. You're going to want to go to the next tier, which is moderate.
Yep. Real quick though, this is why we work with a travel agent, because we know when like the cheerleading competitions are, we know when all of the Run Disney events are, we know that. So that's why you work with someone like us, because we may not know the name of the ESPN area, but we know when stuff's happening there.
It's a good time to be there.
Exactly. If you don't want to deal with cheerleaders, we'll let you know when that won't be.
Florida spring break. Nope. Don't want
any of the Southern State spring breaks. Yep.
Yeah. So the moderate resorts are going to be essentially your mid-tier resorts. They're still a good value, but they're kind of they're a step up from value, a little bit nicer vibe. It's Disney, so there's always going to be kids around, but these are going to be the resorts with maybe the families with older kids or your single adults traveling. These are places like Caribbean Beach, Coronado Springs. I want to say Fort Wilderness Cabins are in there as well. And then like Port Orleans, the Riverside, and the French Quarter.
Yep.
These are also very spread out campuses. So if you are staying at one of these resorts, you really want to think about, you know, what is the most important to you? Do you want to be able to get the most out of your park days? So you want to be close to the bus lines or the boats. You want to be able to get out and get back in with the least amount of time possible. You want to have a preferred room that's close to the transportation. If you're like, meh, I'm gonna kind of have a relaxing vacation. I want to be near the pool. I want to go to the pool sometimes. You're gonna want to know that, and you want to let your travel agent know, or if you're not using a travel agent, look it up. Make sure you are paying attention to the type of room that you're going to and know what's important to you, because some of these places, it's like a 10-15 minute walk between buildings.
For sure. We noticed that when we stayed at Coronado, we stay there. It's one of my favorite resorts. It's one of my favorite moderate resorts. It's huge though. Huge. And we were really lucky when we went that we were upgraded to a preferred room, and the bus stop was maybe a 5-minute walk across the parking lot for us. And it was the very first one. So we could get on, get settled, go pick some other folks up, and then we headed to the park. So that was really nice. But you know, it was, we didn't know that. This was before I was a travel agent. I didn't know anything about that. I'm like, this is great. Now that I know that, again, like you said, it's something that you want to factor into when you're booking, when you're picking a room.
Yes.
And if that extra cost, and it's not usually too much, but it's enough where you're going to pay a little bit for it. But yeah, if you're like, I got to be near the buses, or I have to be near the pool, or whatever, like you said, the purpose of your vacation is, just make sure you're booking accordingly. Or again, telling your travel agent that, hey, we want to spend 2 or 3 days at our resort. We're going to put you in a preferred pool room because we want you to be right there. So that's a huge thing. Also, Coronado's pool is super, all of their pools are cool. And the deluxe are really cool too. But the moderate, all their pools are very well themed. So that's not deluxe. Moderate resorts start to have slides in their pools. Yes. Whereas the one at French Quarter, so cool. Because we just stayed there. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. It's the dragon alligator thing, because it's all Mardi Gras themed. Oh my God. Oh my God, it was so cool. And like the kids were like loving it. And I'm an adult and I loved it. And Coronado's pool is just really cool because it's like a temple. It's really cool. Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I haven't been to any of the pools in a very long time. That's fine. We're going to go to Coronado's in September. So it's good. Yeah. And Three Bridges. That's the other thing, is that the moderate resorts do have sit down restaurants. Coronado had kind of an upgrade recently. So they've got Grand Destino Tower, which is beautifully themed and high tech. And it's got wonderful restaurants and a bar up on the top level. And then it's got Three Bridges, which is, such good food. My favorite restaurant on property, and I will not hear anything otherwise. I won't. And so the last resort category is going to be your deluxe resorts. So that kind of goes along with I can't do this. That goes along with my t-shirt today is the Seven Seas Lagoon, because most of the deluxe resorts are going to be around the Seven Seas Lagoon. That's going to be your Grand Floridian, Contemporary, Polynesian, and then over on the Epcot side, you've got Beach and Yacht Club and Boardwalk Inn, and then you've got Animal Kingdom Lodge off in the far distance. And you forgot Wilderness Lodge. Oh, I did forget Wilderness Lodge. I thought you were going to jump over there. I thought you were going to jump there. Yeah. God, and that's my favorite resort. How did I forget that? Okay, it's fine because it's like Seven Seas adjacent, essentially. Yeah, it's okay. We're good. Don't mind me. Just having an existential crisis. Best for last. Best for last. It's okay.
There we go. Yeah. Alphabetical order. Um, anyway, these resorts are going to be your more high-end resorts. They've got, lots of nicer restaurants. They definitely will cost you more. So I would say, unless you have kids that are extremely well behaved, or just, really like the wilderness or Polynesian culture of some sort, these probably are going to be hotels that you want to save for when your kids are older. Or they're really great for adult only trips, or you save them for like your big milestones, anniversaries, big birthdays, graduations. I went to Grand Floridian for my graduation.
Ooh.
And we got upgraded to club level. It was very
the dream.
nice.
The dream.
It really was. And so that would be my big tip for these hotels, is to, if you can, if you want to splurge a little bit, a lot of it, try to get one of the club level rooms. These are essentially Disney's version of concierge. But the good thing about it is that they have a club where there's food laid out pretty much all day. You don't have to pay for breakfast in the parks because they've got like an assortment of pastries, and it's not a hot breakfast, but an assortment of pastries and coffee and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think they've got snacks, hors d'oeuvres, which includes wine and beer included, like for free.
Yep, a bunch of drinks. Yep.
Yep.
Non-alcoholic and alcoholic.
Yep. So I'm not going to say that you make your money back in that, but it's a nice little extra. Plus you've got the club level employees who can help you on site with, say 60 days ago, you couldn't get your Space 220 restaurant reservation that you really wanted, or your California Grill reservation. You wanted to see those fireworks up at the top of the California, or at the top of the Contemporary. You couldn't get it. You're on a club level. Those employees they're on site. They've got a little bit more pull with Disney. They can see into their system. They can work to get you those hard to get dining reservations. Not guaranteed.
I was going to say no guarantee.
No guarantees.
It's an
but
extra level of service
that
you're getting. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and they can help with Genie Plus, because Lord knows we all need help we can get with that.
It took me a year and a half, but I finally feel super comfortable with. I mean, it took about a year after it released to feel super comfortable, and then with the little updates. Yeah. But hey, yeah, it's always, again, extra nice to have extra set of hands kind of walking you through the process, because it's a lot. Yeah.
Oh, and sorry, I just thought of another perk for the deluxe resorts. For Contemporary, Grand Floridian, and Polynesian, you've got the monorail that goes either through the resort in the case of the Contemporary, or has a stop at the resort in case of the other two, which is fun. And they're pretty much walkable to Magic Kingdom, depending on your definition of walkable. The Epcot deluxe resorts are definitely walkable to Epcot.
Yeah. I think those are more scenic, because I've done the walk from from Grand Floridian to Magic Kingdom, because we went over for Enchanted Rose. Did Enchanted Rose. Oh, and we went over for the Christmas tree one time. Aww. So we did the walkway there, and it's a nice walk, because again, you're walking around Seven Seas, but to go from Boardwalk or Yacht and Beach or even Swan and Dolphin,
that's really the deal.
That's a much nicer walk, and I think it's a quicker walk as well.
Yeah, and I think that's probably because they built it intending for it to be walkable, whereas the Seven Seas Lagoon hotels, they've kind of retroactively made it walkable. Aside from Contemporary has always been walkable, but
yes. And another fun thing about all of those resorts, whether you're staying around the monorail loop or you're staying over on the boardwalk side, there's boats that take you to and from the parks that they're near. So monorail resorts, you have monorail, and then you have boats, and that'll go to Wilderness Lodge as well. And then you have boats at Epcot. Was it the Friendship boats that are at Epcot or like boardwalk area that can do Epcot and Hollywood Studios, plus the Skyliner at those resorts, plus buses when needed.
There isn't Skyliner at Deluxe that I can think of.
Well, you walk over to Epcot.
Oh,
yes, that's what I'm saying. You have quick access because it's the walk over to that. Yes,
I got you now. I was like racking my brain. I'm like, Riviera is not really a deluxe resort. Riviera XL.
Yeah, it's like a 5 or 10 minute walk, but yeah, it's not bad because it's at the International Gateway entrance to Epcot.
Yeah, and you don't have to enter the park to get onto it. You can just walk over there and hop on the Skyliner, and that's actually another fun way to get over to Hollywood Studios if you feel like taking the long way around. Or
I was going to say, if you don't take the quick boat or the quick walk, take the Skyliner. But again, you're sitting down, you got that nice breeze if it's not raining and they don't stop it, and it's really fun.
Yeah. Again,
I'm the Skyliner person over anything else.
I grew up going to Busch Gardens, Tampa, because my dad used to work there.
What? That's so cool.
I know, right? Love it. I'll have to show you pictures of him holding a baby tiger cub at some point.
Okay. Yes.
The 70s, they were a wild time. But Busch Gardens, Tampa has a gondola around their savannah. So I am with you. Skyliner holds a special place in my heart. And I think, oh, nope, that's not it. We've still got honorable mentions, Deluxe Villas. That's the DVC resort rooms. Essentially the same perks as you would get at a deluxe resort. The really honorable mention for that is the Riviera Resort, because that is, I want to say that it's the newest resort on property. If Grand Destino Tower, it's the newest full resort that is Disney owned.
Yep.
And that is fully Disney Vacation Club. Unless you are booking one of the deluxe villas, which again is going to be an extra level of money, but it is on the Skyliner. It's a Skyliner hub, actually. And it has a fun pool and some really good restaurants. And it's just kind of got a nice vibe to it.
It does. To me, it feels more hotel-y than resort, but
it's not as Disney. It's not smack in your face Disney.
It is, and I think that's why initially I didn't love it. And when I was just there, I was like, okay, like just kind of walking around. I was like, okay, I think I actually really like this because, and you can like just, there's so much to do there too on property. Like it's a smaller property because again, it's all in one building, which a lot of the other resorts are kind of spaced. I think most of them besides
all the deluxe resorts are, oh no.
I know I'm like,
I was going to say all the deluxe resorts are in one building, but that is far from the truth. They're just a little bit more compact than
it feels different. Because it's supposed to be inspired obviously by the French Riviera. The name didn't give it away. But yeah, it just feels it just, I don't know, it just has a different feel to it. Yeah. And I feel like some people you either love it or you hate it. And I've heard that from so many different people. I initially really didn't like it, and now I'm like I'm warming up to it. Like you said, the restaurants are really good.
Mosaics. They've got beautiful mosaics.
The Skyliner. So it's just like two like awesome things right there. The Skyliner and then those mosaics are Absolutely stunning. Like that is just worth stopping, like on the Skyliner, pop off for 5 minutes. I mean, I say stay and walk around, get like a coffee from the coffee bar there. That's really fun. Like the cafe, but check out the mosaics because they're so, oh my God, they're so cool. They're so freaking cool.
I agree. Last time that I was in Disney, it was kind of a day out. It was, I'm telling you, it was in the 30s in Florida and raining. Not fun. But because it's on the Skyliner, I was over at Hollywood Studios. My friend had gone back to the hotel for a nap. And I was like, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm not feeling Hollywood Studios right now. Hopped on the Skyliner, went over to Riviera, got some good food.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing that like I did this for my clients. They went back at Christmas time. I came up with an entire resort tour, like Christmas tree resort tour for them. And the Skyliner makes it easier because you can hit a bunch of them like kind of on the way. Again, you can start at Pop and Art of Animation, stop at Caribbean Beach, stop at Riviera, and then you can go to Epcot, kind of where we talked about, get off at International Gateway, and then hit all of the resorts that are on the boardwalk. So that just makes it easier to do that in resort hop. And then again, you can do like the monorail loop and all that, but it's just so fun. And like, it's so fun that all the like hotels are like kind of interconnected somehow, or at least like most of them are easy to get to from one another for the most part, not all, but some.
Always a caveat.
Yeah. Some of them are like really hard to get to where you have to.
Animal Kingdom Lodge.
I was, you know, it's funny. I was just thinking about that. We had breakfast at Boma last time. And the night before I was doing the mental map of, okay, we're at French Quarter. What park do we want to go to first? Okay, we should probably go to Animal Kingdom. When we get to Animal Kingdom, we need to get off the bus, loop around, get to the Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House bus, and then that'll take us. And it's doing that whole like mental gymnastics of like, okay, best resort to go to. But again, if I go to somebody that knows exactly how to do all this stuff, like the back of our hand, because it's fun.
It is, yeah. You get to know all the logistics of it.
Because there can be logistics of it for sure.
Yeah. And we've got one final honorable mention is the Good Neighbors hotels. Those are hotels that are on Disney property, but not owned by Disney, that get some of the extra perks that are associated with being on resort. You know, you get your 60 days out to plan your advanced dining reservations. You get your extra evening hours, which I forgot to mention is also a perk of Deluxe resorts. You get, I think, 2 hours of extra evening hours, depending on
scheduled. Yes.
Yeah, and scheduled.
Yep.
They'll move around to the parks. But so that's nice perk as well. And if you do like Swan and Dolphin, you're on the lake with the other Epcot Deluxe resort, so it's walkable to Epcot. And because these aren't Disney owned, they'll either, for the most part, they'll be a little bit more affordable. And you get those Disney perks, unless you're staying at the Four Seasons, which is going to be a little bit less affordable. But it's the Four Seasons, so you get that extra level of 5-starness.
Exactly. Oh yeah. And another good thing about those too is you still can book them like you would book a typical package, like ticket and Disney resort package. So it's that $200 refundable deposit.
Yeah.
And that just makes it just as easy to book that as a Disney, because you still book it through Disney. Everything's still kind of funneled through Disney. So that's how you're able to get all those perks too.
Exactly. I think that is all that I have for Disney resorts. That was a lot of information to info dump on everyone. But we figured get it all out one fell swoop. If you've got any questions, let us know in the comments, or you can reach out to either of us. We've got our handles, our Instagram handles on screen, and we'll have them in the show notes. So thanks for watching.
Yeah. All right.